Ladies and gentlemen, the new Spider-Man spoilers are out and we have a lot to talk about. So, this is your first and last warning, a spoiler alert for Spider-Man. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by again. I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, do everything you can to let the algorithm know that this little channel is worthwhile and it should stick around. It helps a small channel like me more than you know. All right, let's get right into it. I am super excited for the Spider-Man set. Now, I love Spider-Man, and I have to admit, even with my love of Spider-Man, my love of Magic the Gathering, I was still a little let down by the things we're seeing so far. So today, we're going to sift through all the releases that have come out, the ones that look most appealing, and some of the cool new set mechanics that I've seen that I think could be kind of fun to break. So let's start here first with Spider-Man 2099. He's a legendary creature, spider-human hero. He costs red and a blue. He has From the Future. You can't cast Spider-Man 2099 during your first, second, or third turns of the game. That doesn't mean you can't cast them during somebody else's first, second, or third turn during the game. Double Strike, Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, if you've played a land or cast a spell this turn from anywhere other than your hand, Spider-Man 2099 deals damage equal to his power to any target. That sounds like it can be a blast. You have to build around it, yes, but I feel like this is one to keep an eye on. Not to mention, the art looks great. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you like this bordered treatment? I think it looks really cool. I think it does pop off the table. A little busy, if anything, but I do like how Spider-Man's web is literally taking over the frame. I think that's pretty cool and kind of flavorful. On to the next, Spectacular Spider-Man, 1 in a white. He is also a spider-human hero. He has Flash. 1, Spectacular Spider-Man gains flying till the end of turn. That happens at instant speed. Then 2, pay 1, sacrifice Spectacular Spider-Man. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. This card is insane. This new set of spoilers has got me full on excited for Spider-Man. Imagine, you basically have a 3-cost Teferi's Protection ready to go with Flash in your hand if you need it, but even better, when it's on the battlefield, it's a 2-cost 3/2 that you can give flying. This is a great card all around, and being able to, for the next turn, pay 1, give your creatures hexproof and indestructible at any time. I don't think we've had board state protection this powerful ever. It's almost like Legolas's Quick Reflexes, which, by the way, that does have split second, but it only affects one creature. This will affect your entire board state. Incredible card, it's spectacular, and I cannot wait to put this in any deck that has white. I think it's a new staple for Commander, certainly up to level 4. CDH, I'm still getting my feet wet there. I can still see a reason why you might want this in decks that actually swing out in CDH, but that's obviously much more rare. So I'm going to stay in my lane and talk about Casual Commander, and I do think that this would be a great card in almost any white deck that cares about their creatures staying alive. On to the next, Origin of Spider-Man. Now this one gives us our first taste of the comic book treatment, which, by the way, I love. Look at this. Origin of Spider-Man. It's actually easy to read, and it looks like a comic. This is a terrible resolution photo. Horrible. I apologize. Please bear with me. If you're on a cell phone, it probably looks great. This is a 1 in a white enchantment. The first level of this enchantment saga, you create a 2/1 green spider token with reach. Not bad. Next, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. It becomes a legendary spider hero in addition to its other types. Not bad. And then finally, especially, by the way, if they're going to be leaning into this type of creature, this sort of archetype of a legendary spider hero, there's plenty in this set. I'm sure you can build a Miles Morales Edge of the Spider-Verse kind of thing, where we're going to have tons of Spider-Mans flood the board, and you're going to want to have that kind of synergy, kind of like a sliver. The more legendary spider heroes you have, the better. Finally, on the 3rd, it triggers target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. Pretty good. I like the treatment. This one for me is more important to show how beautiful these new treatments are for the comic book style. Very much looking forward to that. On to the next. We have Anti-Venom, Horrifying Healer. He costs 5 white, which is not an easy task to achieve in more than one color decks. It's a legendary creature, symbiote hero. Whenever Anti-Venom enters, if he was cast, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If damage would be dealt to Anti-Venom, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on him. Of course, This reminds me of the All Will Be One staple Phyrexian Vindicator. I love that card. It feels so good to play because it can't have damage done to it. It costs 4 white to get it out. Not to mention, it came in my favorite Oil Slick treatment from those All Will Be One collector bundles. This is a great card. I see it being an all-star in any mono white deck, especially giving him extra +1/+1s. He becomes very big, very quick, and therefore, he's horrifying and very scary. On to the next card here, spoiled so far. We have Colonel John Jameson, who becomes Manwolf. This is just a reskin of an old card. It's a werewolf card. I don't care. Next. Iron Spider the Stark upgrade. This thing looks sick. So this is a legendary artifact creature spider hero, colorless, so it's going to slot in any deck where you want this kind of effect. It's got vigilance, it's a 2/3. You tap it, you put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact creature and or vehicle you control. Full stop, that's awesome. If you're playing an Urza's Construct deck, if you're playing anything where you have a lot of artifact creatures on the board, which Aether Drift, certainly Edge of Eternities, a lot of sets have given us synergies that would like this kind of effect. To tap them, put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact or creature you control is insane. You could really buff up in an Anthem style way your board. Then it also has pay 2, remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among artifacts you control, draw a card. Pay 2, draw a card, not an amazing exchange, but also very good when you're out of options. Not to mention, I think the borderless art looks incredible. They're doing a great job with this set. It just, the city skyline of Manhattan I thought was going to be a distraction, but if the art continues to rock like this, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Next, Peter Parker in this great borderless, maybe this is going to be called the Showcase treatment, Peter Parker and Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this is a 1 and a white creature. He's a 0/1 human scientist hero legendary creature. When Peter Parker enters, create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach. Then you can activate 1 and a green, white, blue, transform Peter Parker, activate only as a sorcery. Now in his transform side we have here on the right, he's a legendary creature, same thing with vigilance and reach. Each legendary spell you cast that's 1 or more colors has web slinging. Now, what's web slinging, you ask? Well, don't worry, I looked it up for us. Web slinging is the cost. In this particular card we're using as an example, it's 1 white. You may cast the spell for its web slinging cost if you also return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand. That is awesome to me. Imagine great cards with great ETB triggers that you want to have happen again and again. Why don't you combine this with any of your great ETB effects, especially ones that have haste or that came out the previous turn, make sure it gets tapped, and then bring it back to your hand while also getting a 3/3 out for a single white. The possibilities are endless. I think web slinging is going to be broken and a standout from this set, and I imagine within a month or 2 of release, everybody's going to know what web slinging is. On to the next. Symbiote Spider-Man. He costs 2 and a Dimir. Legendary creature, he's a symbiote spider hero. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Then it has Find a New Host. Same casting cost as this card, 2 and in Dimir, blue, black. Actually, I'm saying that incorrectly. It's not a Dimir. It can be either blue or black. Only 1 of that for the casting cost. Exile this creature from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains this card's abilities, activate only as a sorcery. That's super cool. I think it's an awesome way for you to beef up any kind of card that can get through easily, whether it be through flying or a sneaky Rogue's Passage, which, by the way, I'm going to make my plug here. Rogue's Passage should be in every deck. If you disagree, you're wrong. On to the next. Dr. Octopus Master Planner. Another great comic book style card. It looks gorgeous, and I've heard others mention this. He costs 7. Why does Doc Ock, who's a 4/8, with known for his 8 appendages, 4 electronic and 4 man-based, is not an 8-drop cost card? I think the reason why is he wouldn't be good otherwise at that cost. He's already kind of expensive. Other villains you control get +2/+2. Your maximum hand size is 8. At the beginning of your end step, if you have fewer than 8 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. I think that's super fun and casual. It's always great to fill up a grip, especially mid-game when you're casting a 7-drop spell. You probably don't have very many cards in your hand, so this is a great way to refill. Also, I'm super excited by the fact that this has other villains you control get +2/+2. That means we have a real chance here to have an awesome rogues gallery of Spider-Man villains and maybe a deck based entirely on villains that you could put up against one of your favorite Spider-Man decks. The villains versus the Spider-Verse. What a great way to play Commander. I know people don't want Spider-Man in Magic the Gathering. Some people don't. Me personally, as I've said before in other videos, I have given myself over to Universes Beyond. I've enjoyed playing Magic the Gathering when it was only Magic IP, But I hate to say it, I do love Spider-Man. I love Magic the Gathering. And if this brings more players in and creates new energy and hype for the game, I think that's a net positive, and I'm here for it. Next, we have Gwen Stacy or Ghost Spider on the flip side. Gwen Stacy costs 1 and a red. Whenever Gwen Stacy enters, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as you control this creature. She has an expensive transformation cost of a 2 blue, red, and white. Transform Gwen Stacy, activate only as a sorcery. When she is transformed, she becomes the Ghost Spider. Flying Vigilance Haste, whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on Ghost Spider. Remove 2 counters from Ghost Spider, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So in Exile Matters decks, this is going to be an incredible card. Exile strategies are certainly a thing, and I think this is going to slot in nicely there. Here's a different treatment to show you the kind of art we can expect from the borderless or showcase style. I think these look great too. Gwen Stacy playing the drums, grabbing the drumstick. Super cool, really active looking cards. I think a lot of this is a giant win all around. Again, keeping with that awesome art style, we have Spider-Punk for 1 and a red. He has Riot. Other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered. Let me say that again. In red, spells and abilities can't be countered. That's super cool. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that's a very common effect for red to get. I think it breaks the color pie a little bit. I think that's more or less a blue-white kind of protection control style spell and ability. So very interested to see if for 1 and a red, you get a 2/1 and you also get uncounterable. Super cool. Damage can't be prevented. I mean, Spider-Punk literally doesn't play by the rules. If you want to damage your opponents and this is on the battlefield and they can't remove it, you're going to damage your opponent. Super cool. That's the end of this list. I wanted to go to Scryfall now. Here's the stuff. Man, I mean, yes, we do see Gwen Stacy here again, which we've already looked at, but we have Miles Morales, so much more to show. So we're about to dive into more, but here, please like, subscribe, make sure you join the channel, become part of our Nerdy Attorney community here on YouTube. It's been a lot of fun so far. I hope you're enjoying the videos. All right, back to the point of the video. Miles Morales here. I think this is a super cool card. Great art as well. Let's bring it in to zoom it to the center. This is a legendary creature, human citizen hero. When Miles enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Then you can transform Miles for 6. Oh my god. He's expensive to transform. 3, a red, green, and a white, which is the Naya colors, I believe. He turns into Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man, he's a first strike haste creature. He is now a Spider-Human hero. He has Camouflage. Pay 2, put a +1/+1 counter on Ultimate Spider-Man. He gains hexproof and becomes colorless until end of turn. That's super cool. Whenever you attack, double the number of each kind of counter on each spider and legendary creature you control. Ooh, I can see why he's expensive. That's gonna be a very powerful Naya effect. I mean, look, if you look at other Naya commanders like Pantlaza, like Cloud, you get to see we very much like to swing out in that color combination, and Ultimate Spider-Man / Miles Morales is gonna be a huge addition to any one of those strategies. Spider-Ham, Peter Porker, this art is just awesome. We got Carnage in the background. We have Kraven the Hunter getting kicked by... Is he getting hit? No, he's getting kicked by Peter Porker. This is a legendary creature, Spider Boar Hero. When Spider-Ham enters, create a food token. It seems fitting. It has Animal Mayhem. Nice play on words there. They do say puns are the lowest form of comedy, so I apologize for laughing. Other spiders, boars, bats, bears, birds, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, mice, otters, rabbits, raccoons, rats, squirrels, personal favorite of mine, Chatterfang for life, turtles, and wolves you control get +1/+1. So it's an anthem for all tiny critters, and you create a food token. Believe it or not, this is probably going in my Chatterfang deck. Anything that creates a token for 1 and a green, it's a 2/2, and it's going to boost up my squirrelies, I'm game for that. I also instantly regretted saying squirrelies, but we're going to leave it in. Next, Spider-Man Noir. I love how these cards show the rogues gallery in the background and have lots of the villains here. We got Vulture. I forget if that's supposed to be the vampire dude. Is that Mobius or Morbius, whatever that guy's name was? Then we have Lizard, which is great. Legendary creature, Spider Hero. He costs 4 and a black. Menace. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then Surveil X, where X is the number of counters on it. Pretty good if you want some deck control. Probably not going to be a mono-black strategy, but in a black-blue strategy, I can see that being useful. We've already done Spider-Man 2099. Multiversal Passage. Cool art, and it's a land. As this land enters, choose a basic land type. Then you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. This land is the chosen type. So it's a pretty good card, especially in a multicolored deck when you have 3 or more colors. We have a lot of things that give us any color we want without having to pay the 2 life. So you're going to have to really stretch for multicolor options to want to play this. Maybe this is more of a standard all-star. Not 100% sure which way it's going to go, but certainly a cool card nonetheless. Spider-Punk we've already seen as well. I love that card. This art treatment is pretty cool too. I like having the other Spider people on the card as well with Venom in the corner there. Ooh, I think I might prefer this treatment, the borderless, over the showcase. Now, here's more of the showcase cards. We've already seen all of these so far, which is great. Oh, we haven't seen this one. Kraven's Last Hunt, 3 and a green. Mill 5 cards. When you do, this saga deals damage equal to the greatest power among creature cards in your graveyard to target creature. Next, target creature you control gets +2/+2 till end of turn. And finally, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty good. I can see that being useful. And now I wanted to talk about this art for Peter Parker. This comic book showcase art is incredible. This right here is going to sell Spider-Man. This will transition nicely into a market analysis video for my projections for what I think Spider-Man's going to look like in terms of value compared to Final Fantasy and other sets that have come out. But man, oh man, this kind of art, I'm here for it. I think it looks great. It's going to probably fetch more money in non-foil than foil is my guess. Hot take, I think this is going to look excellent with the crisp color combinations just popping off the card there. But either way, very excited to see more of this style card. I think they're going to be a standout for this set. And then again, for me, I'm an Ultimate Spider-Man fan, so seeing that beautiful Ultimate Spider-Man art with a cover that looks like it's from Ultimate Spider-Man is just flavor win. I hope we get some Peter Parker Ultimate Spider-Man stuff too, but if it's going to be exclusively Miles, I'm okay with that as well. Then we've already looked at these. These are the extended art cards that have been revealed so far. Sorry for my bad maneuvering here, so that's nothing new. And then we have a few commons and uncommons here. I'll just scroll through them slowly. Aunt May, let's see what you're up to, Aunt May. You cost 1 legendary creature, human citizen, 0/2. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. If it's a spider, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Lots of +1/+1 counter synergies in this set. More Peter Parker. Let's see what this art looks like. I could do without it. Although it does kind of look like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, which I do like. That's cool. Spectacular Spider-Man. Same thing we've seen here. Spectacular Tactics. Web Up. Thwip. Oh, what does Thwip do? I feel like I'm going to use Thwip quite a bit. Thwip is 1 white. Obviously, I like saying it. It's an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2, gains flying till the end of turn. If it's a spider, you gain 2 life. Not bad. Here are more of the cards flying. Octobot, Oscorp Research. Feel free to pause and read any of these as they go by. I think there's going to be a lot of great stuff in this set. Ooh, Venom Evil Unleashed. That art is sick. Let's see what's going on there. This is 4 and a black Death Touch. Pay 2 and a black. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains Death Touch until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Not bad. Gwen Stacy, Electro's Bolt. Deal 4 damage to target creature. Mayhem 1. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its Mayhem cost. Venom's Hunger. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a villain. Destroy target creature, you gain 2 life. So 3, 2 and a black to destroy target creature is pretty standard. I'm not sure why they added extra hoops there. Either way, you can see the kind of flair that this set is going to have. Grow extra arms? Wow, going for all parts of the Spider-Man mythos. This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a spider. Target creature gets +4/+4 till end of turn. Pay 1 +4/+4, certainly not a bad thing to have. Guy in the chair, we got Ned over there. Add 1 mana of any color. He's 2 and a green. Put a +1/+1 counter on target spider. Activate only as a sorcery. And then Kapow. Put a +1/+1 counter. It fights. So all pretty standard stuff here. Spider Rex. Daring Dino. He's 4 and 2 green. Reach, trample, ward 2. He's a 6/6. Have fun. Also, we'll synergize with the Spider Hero card type. Here's more here. More stuff from the Spider-Verse. Old school Green Goblin. That's very cool. Oh, the borderless lands. The borderless lands look great. These might look awesome in foil. They're actually a little minimalist, funnily enough. I would expect maybe more Spider-Man on the card, but that's what they have for us down here. Spider-Man there, Spider-Man there. So yeah, those are the cards that have been spoiled so far that we have on Scryfall and other sources. I hope you like them. Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited for Spider-Man? Do you think the set has the legs to become a legendary set? Or is it going to be kind of written off like Fallout or Doctor Who, where it's a flash in the pan and then we quickly move on from it, aside from a few powerful cards that stick around? Me, personally, after seeing what I'm seeing now, I think this set is going to be amazing. Pun intended. There is so much to offer with the Spider-Man universe between the villains and the heroes. There is just so much there for these cards to soak in the flavor and really bring the feeling of Spider-Man, to make you feel like you're Spider-Man while playing the game. in a way that I think few IPs could. Perhaps Batman would have a rogues gallery that could compete with Spider-Man, but I would say that Batman probably has a few standout characters, where Spider-Man has many, many great villains to play off of here. It's something I didn't really quite consider, is how great the rogues gallery is for Spider-Man. That's going to open a whole paradigm for heroes versus villains in the Spider-Verse. I think that's great. Well, thanks for tuning in to this little update video about the spoilers. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell, and if you'd like to see more, let me know what kind of videos you're in the mood for. I'm going to do a few more analysis videos of the market coming up shortly, and then as soon as I can get my hands on more Edge of Eternity's collector boxes, I'd love to do another box battle. Speaking of which, check out my box battle here between two collector boosters. One is mine, one is a friend's. Let's see who wins. And then also check out this video here, which YouTube thinks you'll like. Thanks again for stopping by. I'm the Nerdy Attorney. Ladies and gentlemen, court is now adjourned.